Well, I hope this video finds you well. I actually desire communication with you. So after you've watched this, I would love a response from you. Just give me an update on what's going on in your life, with your family, if you're married, and where you're at, where you're serving. I would love to hear from each and every one of you. And I truly mean that. Last year, we were able to send out an alumni update video and include some information in that. We had a survey in there, and this video is kind of in response to some of the information we collected. But before I get into that, I do want to give you a little bit of an update on Molly and I. Last year, Molly and I did not participate in one aspect of the West Institute. We still did all of our other duties, but we did not participate in the Heart Study last year. We took that time and that season for just thinking about longevity in ministry and thinking about going into this year, which is our 15th year. And I just want to let you guys know that Molly and I are back in the Heart Study. We, in fact, just had our first Heart Study last week. So we're excited about that and excited to be back. But I want to just respond and interact a little bit with the alumni survey that we set out. One of the questions that we asked you was, what are some helpful resources we can develop for you? And the number one response from you guys was the Heart Study. And as many of you have known and experienced, if you've asked for the Heart Study, I've always been hesitant to give out the Heart Study, not because it's proprietary on any level, but because of how it was written and the format in which the West unfolds with the Bible Institute and just going through God's Word a verse at a time, with the one-on-one discipleship and mentoring that we provide, with the master's classes. All those things fit together, and the Heart Study is written, and the subjects, and when we bring those things up, are written to the experience of our students here. So in light of that, we have developed a resource that's similar to the Heart Study. It's called Soul Anchor, and even Soul Anchor has a long story. It originally started as a document in my dissertation, and then Troy Summers worked on it for like a year, and then it sat dormant for a while. Last year, in just reading the responses from the alumni survey, I just decided, okay, maybe it's time to resurrect Soul Anchor. And so we kind of started over. We scrapped kind of the old attempt and rebuilt the entirety of Soul Anchor from the ground up. In fact, we removed about 38% of it and then rewrote all the remaining chapters from the beginning to the end. And I really do think that even though what we currently have is still in kind of basically a beta version, that what we do have is a helpful resource. It takes a lot of the highlight chapters out of the Heart Study and puts it into a context that can be used by anyone. I guess the foundation or the heartbeat of Soul Anchor is to really help people understand how important God's Word is to anchoring your soul. If everything else is moving, we need to be anchored, and it is God's Word that it provides that anchor. So if you would like to use that resource, I'd ask you to do is just shoot me an email. Obviously, most of you know my email, Clayton at the West Institute. Shoot me an email, and we will actually send you some of those, however many you need. We have decided to print that in-house just because of how expensive that is to print elsewhere. So we are binding them ourselves. Ultimately, we'd like to find a publisher to publish it, just so that we don't have to print these on a regular basis. We don't want any, we're not trying to generate revenue on any of this, but really just, I don't want to be a print shop. So we are going to release that. And we'll bind it and print it ourselves and send it out to you. So if you would like that resource, just let me know. Also, last year when Molly and I stepped out of Heart Study, one of the things that I wanted to do was rewrite part 3 of the Heart Study. So spent an entire semester rewriting it, and then we piloted it last year, and then now this year it is included in the Heart Study. And it's still kind of in a beta version, but I'd like to actually print that and ship that to you if you want that as an individual, something for you to just go through. If you think that would be encouraging to you, I'm happy to give you the most up-to-date version of the Heart Study. Love to see you use it. And so those 2 resources are available. And the last thing I want to say in this video is a thank you. Several students in this year's class have been sent to us by you. And historically, this has always been the case. The number one reason people come to the West Institute is because of your testimony. And so in light of that, as we're kind of kicking off this 15th year, I am quite certain there are individuals in your life where the West Institute would be a good fit for them. where they desire to learn God's Word. They need someone to walk alongside of them to help them understand how to apply that to their life. And all the other fun things we do. Now we do the 8-day rafting trip down the Colorado River. We're going to Jordan and we're going to Israel. And so those things, not everybody needs to do the West, but I think my biggest heart is that we would find people who desire to learn God's Word, and that we would be faithful as a staff to walk alongside of them and help them understand that the rest of their lives would be lived differently. And I hope that you are a living testimony to that. So, like I said at the beginning, it is my desire in this video, to communicate with you, but I want that to be a two-way communication. So I would just ask that you send me a brief update when you get the email and let me know what's going on in your life. Outside of that, I say goodbye.